Hello students, welcome to a new series of lectures in which we are going to start about organic compounds. In this chapter, we will come to know what is the speciality of any organic compound, means who is called as an organic compound. Just like that, you cannot call them as organic, right? So to be called as an organic, what is the requirement? And once you know that these are the organic compounds, how to give a nomenclature or a specific scientific name to each and every compound, and then what are the types of isomerism it has and what are the reactions it undergoes, right? So the first step for us to know that which compounds are called as organic compounds. To judge that, you should have at least one or both the requirements, okay? Any compound in which carbon and hydrogens are present. Any compounds in which both carbon and hydrogen is present is called as an organic compound. Carbon and hydrogen should be present. Right? Carbon and hydrogen should be present in any compound, then it becomes organic. Right, this is the rule for any compound to be called as organic. The second rule is it may or may not have atoms other than hydrogen and carbon, okay? But both first rule and second rule should be followed, right? That compounds are called as organic compound. What is the simplest organic compound? We know methane. Does it follow those two rules? Carbon and hydrogen bond is there, at least one should be followed, right? So this is an organic compound. And in every organic compound, what is the necessary requirement for carbon is it should have a tetravalency, which means there must be 4 bonds around carbon. All the 4 bonds are sigma bonds, or you might have 3 sigma and 1 pi, or you might have 2 sigma and 2 pi bonds. But the total number of bonds around carbon should be 4. Tetravalency of the carbon should always be maintained in an organic compound, because it cannot make a bonds more than 4. If it does so, it gets positive charge. If it gets reduced to less than 4, it gets negative charge, and that is the different story. But valency of the carbon should be 4 or tetravalency, right? This is the simplest organic compound and we call it as methane, right? If you increase the number, methane has this structure in which carbon is surrounded with 4 hydrogens. In this molecule, if you replace one of the hydrogen, and add another carbon, what is the name of this compound? It is called as ethane. If you replace another hydrogen, I will take the same molecule. If you replace another hydrogen with another carbon, you get what? 1, 2, 3, propane. Same way, if you replace another hydrogen with a carbon, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4. Butane means 4 carbon means butane. Which butane? Tertiary butyl, okay? Next is if you replace another carbon with another hydrogen with a carbon, you get neopentane, right? These are the organic compounds. But whatever you do around carbon, around each carbon, you must have 4 bonds. If you observe all these examples, you will see that carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds, and this carbon also has 1 bond and 3 hydrogens. 1 plus 3 total 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 total 4. On this carbon also 1 plus 3 hydrogens 4. 1 plus 3 hydrogens 4. And in this case also each carbon should have tetravalency of 4. Okay, how many number of carbons you add? Because the speciality of carbon which no other element has is which property? Catenation property. You can increase the number of carbons in the molecule to any length, and because carbon has a special property called as catenation, and the reason because of that reason it can make a molecule having up to 30, 40 and even more carbons in a single molecule, right? That property is called as catenation. So we will see different compounds of the carbon starting from the first one, right? And any compound in which carbon and hydrogen is present, it is called as a simple hydrocarbons. Whatever examples we have seen are called as hydrocarbons, in which there is a carbon and there is a hydrogen, other atoms are not there. Okay, so for what we will do first, we will see the classification of hydrocarbons into different types based on the type of bonds, based on the type of structure. Let us look at the classification of hydrocarbons. In a hydrocarbon, if any other atoms are getting added, it will give rise to a different compound, right? Suppose if I take methane, from which this is a hydrocarbon having carbon and hydrogen. From that methane, if I remove one hydrogen and add chlorine group, is it an atom other than oxygen, other than hydrogen and carbon? Yes. What is the name of this compound? Chloromethane. Is that a hydrocarbon? No, it is not an hydrocarbon. It is an organic compound in which functional groups get added. Instead of chlorine, I can also take OH, which is alcohol. So what is the name of the compound? Methyl alcohol or methanol is the compound. Is this an hydrocarbon? No, you got this compound by replacing hydrogen of the hydrocarbon. So who are the fundamental organic compounds? Hydrocarbons only. From that only you can get many compounds in which you are introducing a functional group. So what we have to do is, first we have to thoroughly know the classification of hydrocarbons. Okay, and in each category carbon and hydrogen should be there. Basically, hydrocarbons are divided into two broad categories, that is acyclic hydrocarbons and cyclic hydrocarbons, right? In the name itself you can understand what does it mean by acyclic and cyclic. Okay, a hydrocarbon in which linear structure is present, long chain structure without any ring. Cycle means ring is absent. 3-membered or 4-membered or 5-membered or 6-membered. Any such rings should not be present in the compound. Therefore, such a compound is called as acyclic hydrocarbons, in which straight chain or branched chain, whether the chain can be straight or the chain can be with some branches, but it should be linear. Structure should be linear. That type of hydrocarbon is called as acyclic hydrocarbons. Coming to the cyclic hydrocarbons, in that hydrocarbon there should be a ring or a cycle present. If these types of rings are present in a hydrocarbon, the organic compounds are called as cyclic hydrocarbons. The ring can be 3-membered, 1, 2, 3, or 4-membered, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5-membered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6-membered, or 7-membered, or even larger rings. But a ring should be present in the compound. They are called as cyclic hydrocarbons. Okay. Then next, acyclic hydrocarbons are further divided into two types, and they are saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. What does it mean by saturated hydrocarbons? Is in the structure of an organic compound, all the bonds between carbon and carbon should be sigma bonds only. All the carbons of the compound should have only sigma bonds between them. They are called as saturated hydrocarbons, or you can commonly call them as alkanes. Example is methane. Not just methane, ethane, propane, butane, and so on. All of them are having sigma bonds only, so they are called as saturated hydrocarbons. Coming to the next type, any compound in which a double bond or a triple bond should be present in the structure. Any compounds in which carbon has at least one multiple bond. Multiple bond can be a double bond or a triple bond. Not necessary 2 or 3 or 4, even if it has one multiple bond also, it will be called as unsaturated hydrocarbons. And unsaturated hydrocarbons are again divided into two types based on the type of multiple bond. If double bond is the multiple bond, it is called as alkenes, and if triple bond is the multiple bond, it is called as alkynes. In the structure, in the compound, if at least one double bond is present, that unsaturated hydrocarbon is called as alkene. If in the structure at least one triple bond is present, triple bond is present, at least one, it can be more than one, but at least one should be there, then such an unsaturated hydrocarbon is called as alkynes. Example of alkene is ethene. Not just ethene, propene, butene, pentene, so on, right? And example of alkyne is ethyne, right? This is the names of acyclic hydrocarbons. Coming to the next category of cyclic hydrocarbon, it is again divided into two types of cycles, right? Cycles can be of two types, that is carbocyclic and heterocyclic. Carbocyclic hydrocarbon, heterocyclic hydrocarbon. Carbocyclic means if all the atoms present in a cycle are carbon atoms only. If all the cycles present in the atom is whether single, double, triple, whatever it is, but in the ring 3 atoms in this case should be carbon, 4 atoms in this case should be carbon, 5 atoms in this case should be carbon, 6 atoms in this case should be carbons only. Okay, so that type of hydrocarbon is called as carbocyclic. Coming to the other type of cyclic structure is in a compound, if one of the atom in the ring is not a carbon, it is some other atom apart from carbon. That type of cyclic structure is called as heterocyclic hydrocarbon. Okay, in this case I have taken an example of pyrrole, pyrrolidine and pyridine, right, in which out of 5 atoms 4 are carbons, 1 is nitrogen. Same way 4 are carbons, 1 is nitrogen, 5 are carbons and 1 is nitrogen. The other atom which is present in the ring is called as heteroatom and the compound is called as heterocyclic hydrocarbon. Again it is of 2 types, saturated and unsaturated. Again this is also of 2 types, saturated and unsaturated. In fact, you can simply say aromatic. Saturated and aromatic. Saturated means all the bonds should be single bonds only. Then unsaturated or aromatic means it's not necessary that unsaturated is always aromatic. Sometimes unsaturated is just unsaturated or sometimes it can become aromatic. Right? So, if the compound has alternate pi bonds, it becomes unsaturated. Example is benzene, example is cyclobutane, cyclopentane and so on. Aromatic means benzene in which alternate pi bonds are present. Same way, saturated means if nitrogen is present in the ring and all the bonds are sigma bonds only, then it is saturated. And this is the example. Aromatic means if nitrogen is present in the ring but alternate pi bonds are present, it is called as aromatic. Example for aromatic is pyridine. Okay, these are the classifications of hydrocarbons having different types. Now what we will do is the simplest hydrocarbons are acyclic hydrocarbons, alkane, alkene and alkyne. We will see what are the different rules to be followed for giving a name to the organic compound starting from the root word. Okay. Now, in every hydrocarbon there is a root word followed by suffix and prefix. Okay. Suffix and prefix. Suffix means it comes after the root word and prefix means it comes before the root word. First you should know what is the root word of every carbon compound. What does it mean by root word? Means how many carbon atoms are present. How many carbon atoms are present in the given compound, that is the root word. What does it mean by suffix? More priority functional group. Priority means more importance. Whoever gets more importance from the compound, their name should come after the root word, which means they should become the suffix. What does it mean by prefix? Less priority functional group or any substituent you can say. Same way, less priority functional group or substituent. You please note down simultaneously along with me, less priority functional group or less priority substituent. Okay, so this is how every organic compound is named. So what we will do first, we will know what are the different root words for different carbon atoms. Okay, so if number of carbons, what is the root word? If the given compound has only one carbon, the root word will be meth. If the given carbon has total 2 carbons, the root word will be eth. If the given carbon has total 3 carbons, the root word will be prop. If the given carbon has total 4 carbons, the root word will be but. Same way, if it has 5 carbons, the root word will be pent. 6 carbon means hex, 7 carbon means hept, 8 carbons means oct, 9 carbon means non, and 10 carbon means dec. Okay, so you have to first count the number of atoms in a given compound to get the root word. If it has only one carbon, you should give the root word as meth. 2 means eth, 3 means prop, 4 means but, 5 means pent, 6 means hex, 7 means hept, 8 means oct, 9 means non, 10 means dec. Okay, now you got the root word. What you should find out next? Suffix. Okay, in the given compound, if there are no functional groups present, because I told you that we are going to first discuss about simple hydrocarbons, which was on the left side of the classification, acyclic hydrocarbons, right? In the given compound, if about suffix I will write. This is about root word. About root word. Then about suffix. In the given compound, if no functional groups are present, functional groups means alcohol, carboxylic acid, aldehyde, ketone, all of them becomes functional groups. If they are absent in the compound, that means if no functional groups are present, which means it is a simple hydrocarbon. It is a simple hydrocarbons. Then the suffix for all sigma bonds, suffix for only carbon sigma bond is ane. Even if one carbon double bond is present, suffix should be ene. And even if one triple bond is present, the suffix should be ine. And in that compound, if there are 2 double bonds, it is called as diene, 3 double bonds, triene, etc. Where should it come? All these should come after the root word. Okay, right. So when will this happen? If carboxylic acids, aldehydes, ketones, alcohols, all that functional groups are not present, it is a simple hydrocarbon. In that case, the suffix should be ane for sigma bond, ene for double bond, and ine for triple bond, right? If functional groups are present, what should be the name? That we will discuss later, because if you don't know the naming of normal hydrocarbons, you cannot go for functional groups. So we will cover first simple hydrocarbons. Okay, if functional groups are present, otherwise we will see here only. If functional groups are present, for which functional group what is the suffix we will see. Okay, right? If functional groups are present, what is the suffix for which functional group? Let us take. Okay, suppose if carboxylic acid is the functional group present, I will clearly write COOH means carboxylic acid. Okay, what should be the suffix? You should remove N, from N remove E, remove E and add oic acid. Suppose methane is the compound name, you remove E from methane, METHAN, don't write E and write methanoic acid. Okay, if it is in same way, remove E and add oic acid. Same way, if it is ine, remove E and add oic acid. Methanoic acid, methanoic acid in case it is present, methanoic acid in case it is present. Okay, so the suffix for carboxylic acid should be oic acid. Let us go for the next. You follow, you write all these rules clearly in your book, right? This is for carboxylic acid. Suppose the group is alcohol. What does it mean by OH? Alcohol. Okay, if alcohol is the functional group, what you should do? From N, same, what you have to do? What did I write? Remove E and write the suffix as OL. If it is alkene, if it is ene, same way, remove E and write all. If it is ine, same, remove E and write OL. So if alcohol is the functional group, you should use the suffix as OL. Okay, by removing E. Methanol, methane, if the name is methane, METHANE, what you have to do? Don't write E in the end, just remove it and write OL all. Same way ethanol, same way propanol, like that you have to write whenever alcohol is the functional group present. Next, what is the next functional group? Aldehyde. The next functional group is aldehyde. When aldehyde is present, same thing you have to do. What is that? From N, remove E and write AL as the suffix. Methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol, the suffix for aldehyde should be AL. I will not be writing ENE, INE because they are additional groups. Okay, mostly they won't be present together. Same way, if ketone is the functional group, what does it mean by C double bond O? Ketone. If ketone is the functional group in the compound, from ANE you have to remove E and write the suffix as ONE. It is not one, it is on. Methanone, ethanone, propanone, butanone, pentanone and so on. You have to remove E and add methanone, ONE, it becomes methanone. Same way, you have to remove E and add ONE, ethanone, like that. For which functional group? Whenever the functional group is on. Same way, if the functional group is acid chloride, what is the name of this functional group? acid chloride. What you should do? Same thing you have to do. From N, remove E and add the suffix as oil chloride or oil fluoride or oil bromide or oil iodide. So, if methane is the name, if methane is the compound, what you have to do? Remove E and add methanoyl chloride. Ethane is the compound, means remove E and write ethanoyl chloride, right? These are some of the functional groups. In the next class, we will see the remaining functional groups and then go for prefix. Okay, thank you.